crown, I greet you. Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Oyundifulipera mashapa, mwananyana wa muvenda. And if you're here for the first time, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, a veteran in this channel, welcome back for yet another exciting episode of Risk Money and Insurance. Alright, and so today, if you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button below and also hit the notification bell so that you don't get to miss a new video when it gets uploaded. Alright, and today I'm here on an exciting topic. This is like an annual financial meeting, or like a family meeting, because now it's been a very interesting year. 2020 has been an interesting year, but we're here now, and I think that's the important thing. We're still alive. We are still soldiering through a pandemic, and as long as we're here, there's always room for improvement. And so today I want to tackle something that is quite interesting, and something that I do on an annual basis, right? So I get to sit down and take time to reflect. Not only reflect on my finances, but reflect on my life as a whole. Reflect on my social life. Reflect on my spiritual life. Reflect on my physical life as well. Reflect on, my academics as well, because I'm not yet a qualified actuary. I wrote exams last session. So it's like you need to keep track and take stock. That's what we're doing. Yes, we are taking stock of how much we have, how much we've used up, and how much do we need for the future. And so that's what I want us to do today, to just reflect on our finances, and hopefully you guys will also have time to reflect on other areas of your life as well, to just say, am I growing in this area? How can I improve? And so in this financial meeting, or this family meeting today, we are talking all things our finances, because it's important. You cannot tame what you don't know. If you don't know something, then you cannot tame it. It's like your financial behavior, your spending habits. You cannot tame them if you don't know them. And so here I am with this episode today. And before I go on blurb and blurb and blurb, let's just get into the video, right? And so I decided it will be like, we will be reflecting on 4 different areas of our spending, or areas of our finances, right? And the first one is, of course, expenses. I saw a meme somewhere saying like, money is when I swipe, I get the feeling that money is my lifestyle, right? Like, this is my life. Okay, spending, number 1. The second one will be income. And then the third one will be like our loans or debt that we have. The fourth one, the final one, will be savings/investments, right? And so the first one with expenses, right? In case you don't know, everyone has sort of like a spending habit or a spending pattern. There are some people that just go online and shop till they drop. Other people, it's Uber Eats. I mean, I fell prey to Uber Eats this year when I was writing exams. Like, I wasn't cooking, I was just ordering every time when I'm hungry. Like, and the thing is, I'll justify that action to say, you know what, girl, you are studying, so you're not gonna go out. So take your entertainment budget, put it in on your spending, because, well, you can't cook, you need to study. So there are those things. Some people just go out on dates. For example, umjolo is expensive, guys. If they haven't told you, umjolo is expensive. It's like really expensive. So also umjolo contributes as well. Those dates when you're going out to movies, visiting parks, doing this, doing that. That thing is expensive. So you must be aware of your spending habits. Like, what is that one thing that chows your money? Because every single one of us has that one thing that just chows our money. And in order for you to make an improvement in your finances, you need to know what that thing is, so that next time when you're spending, which is next year, when you're spending, you'll be more conscious of what you're actually spending on that particular thing. And you can actually put a limit to say, after maybe 5 Uber Eats, I'm not ordering anymore, it's done. And also put a limit on the amount of money you're spending on each order. For example, you can say 200 is my minimum, is my maximum. I don't go above that, because If you don't do that, you'll still be in the same position next year that you're in this year, which is unacceptable. There should be growth, there should be improvement in one area of your life. And at the same time, it's not about you just saving money, it's about you also enjoying the money that you've worked so hard for. But if you want to make an improvement in your life and break the poverty cycle, then you need to be aware of your spending habits. Is it online shopping? What is it that chows your money? Is it online shopping? Is it movies? What is it? And so it's a good time to actually look at your bank statement. If you don't have an app, I know there are different apps that can help you like track your spending budget, track your spending habits. There's 22/7, there's FinArt as well. I'll also like just drop the names on the screen as well of other apps that you can actually use to track your spending, because that's how you improve. You start by actually picking up what is it that's chowing my money, and when was the last time you ever looked at your bank statement? Because that thing can also inform you a lot about how you're spending. Are you spending your money, on clothes? Are you spending your money on food? Are you just withdrawing cash? And also, what are you using the cash for? So these are the things that are very important that we need to look at, and also that will help us grow and improve as we are marching on to the next year, right? And another area that you can reflect on is your income, right? So what are you getting? Like, how many income streams do you have as an individual? Do you only depend on your salary, or do you have like investments as well that are bringing in some income, or you also have side hustles as well? And also your income versus your expenses. Are you chowing all your income? Does your income like literally equal your expenses, or you have a buffer, or you have like an excess that you can use to save or invest? So these are the things that you should be looking at. And also going to the new year, I think another thing you can reflect on, or another point you can reflect on, is how am I going to increase my income, right? Am I going to pick up a side hustle? Am I going to start a business? Like, how am I going to increase my income? Because at the end of the day, if your income will just equal your expenses, then there isn't much that you're going to do for yourself. There isn't much investment that you're going to do for the future. So these are some of the things that you need to look at as we are doing this, annual review of our finances. And then the other thing that I wanted to actually tackle is loans or debts that we have. Like, how much loan have you taken out this year, and what was it for? And also there's this thing with loans as well, of refinancing your loans. I feel like I need to make a video on this one, because it's one of the reasons why we as Black people are stuck in debt. Because you take out a loan, then the bank will approach you 4 years down the line, and they're like, hey, don't you want to refinance your loan so that we lower your installments? And you're like, yeah, I would love that. And then you're in this vicious cycle of refinancing your loan all the time. And so like, instead of paying everything out in 20 years, you end up like paying everything in like 50 years or 60 years. I might be exaggerating, but that's just me trying to show you, like, better pay off your debt. Like, if you have loans from this year, the funny thing is they will follow you to next year. You might be saying, I'm changing my habits, new year, new me. Bro, old loans will still follow you to the new year. So it's important to now just say, this is how much debt I have as an individual, or this is how much debt we have as a couple. How are we now going to pay off this debt as quickly as we can? Or what is our plan? We have debt, maybe the car is financed or the house is financed. It's time to think about, how can we now, going to the new year, ensure that we pay off this debt that we have as quickly as possible? Because the longer you wait to pay off whatever loans you have or for form of financing you have, the more interest you're going to actually pay. And if you look at it, like if you do your calculations to say, this is how much interest we'll end up paying after 20 years or 30 years, you might find that if you bought a house for like R1 million, you might actually pay interest that is worth another house, like a second house. So it's important to also just say, this is how much debt we have, and we feel going to the new year, we shouldn't be taking out more debt because we'll be drowning in debt. Okay, cool. And then the last one is savings, right? Savings slash investments. Like, it's time to review now. This was the initial or the principal amount that we invested in shares, or invested in this, or we saved this much. And another thing about saving is, when you initially started saving, or when you initially started investing, what was your goal, and when do you want to attain that goal, and how far are you from attaining that goal? Do you need to now increase your spending in order for you to get there? Do you need to now perhaps cash out on your investments because you're about to do a certain thing that you said, or you're about to achieve your goal? What is it that you want to do with your savings or your investments? Or you're just going to keep it there, build your wealth, keep it there, build a future for yourself and your family? Because at the end of the day, we want to be a generation of people who are financially free. We want to be a generation of people who are financially responsible, and it is not like some magical thing that will make you financially responsible, or some magical moment that will make you into a great individual. But it's these little things that you do on a daily basis that determines like what you become tomorrow. And so it's a good time to reflect on the four things that I've mentioned: your income, your expenses, your loans or your debt. Reflect on your investments or your savings. If you haven't started saving, well, it's time to think about going to the new year. Investments and savings. How are we doing this? Chill with your bae. Like, yo, bae, where's the future going? Hadi, where are we going with this? How can we make sure that the future generation doesn't face the same struggles that we did? It's always like my greatest motivation to say, I don't want my kids to go through what I went through. Like, I would have loved to just straight out of varsity buy an apartment, stay in my own apartment and things. But life didn't allow me to be a trust fund baby, so I can't just decide I'm gonna buy an apartment in Senton. I need to plan, I need to save, I need to do my research, I need to save enough money for a deposit to get financing and things. And so these are the important things. Like, all that you're doing, think about your future kids if you want to have kids. Think about your future self if you don't want to have kids. Think about you, like, where would you want to be as an individual in 10 years time? How much money do you want to have? How much investments do you want to have? What are your goals? What are your long-term goals? What are your short-term goals? And so, as a final wrap up to this video, I just want to say, after looking at all those four areas of your finances that I've mentioned, would you say you are above the line, meaning like everything is great, like you've got your expenses are lower than your income, you've got great investments pulling through, your loans or your debt is under control, you can repay that in a short space of time, whatever? Or you're on the line meaning your expenses and your income, they're like on the same level, you're just like breaking even, there is no surplus for you to actually start saving, and then there's below the line where you're like, Fulu, I'm struggling, like my expenses are there, my income is here, my debt is there, I don't know how to go about this. So it's important to have this idea before going to the new year, so that when you go there, like, this is what I'm going to prioritize in 2021. I'm going to save enough money, pay off my debt, or do whatever. Like, I'm going to cut down on some expenditures. I'm going to look for a side hustle in order for me to increase my income and pay off my debt, or do whatever. So, all the best going into the new year. I hope to see you in 2021, and I love you so much. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and then goodbye. I love you so much. Happy New Year. Mwah.